here today in Clonegall, harvesting the second field generation of the Teagasc potato breeding programme, and we have about 1700 different varieties and plots in the field here. These have been selected from singles in the previous year, and it's a very important stage of the programme because it's the first time that we actually start to generate some information about the tuber characteristics of the potatoes. But also in the last number of years, because we have very limited seed quantities of each of the potential new varieties, every plot you see here is the entire potential seed stock of that variety. We've started to use DNA technology or marker-aided selection to measure a lot of the traits, particularly for blight and PCN resistance in this field. So from any of the plots that you see in the background or potential new varieties, each of those have been tested in the laboratory using a DNA-based test to tell us whether they have resistance to particular diseases. And this has greatly increased the efficiency of the breeding process at this stage. There's a huge fall off in the amount of genetic variation at this particular first two field generations, where we go from approximately 70,000 seedlings to less than 300,000 seedlings in two field generations. So the use of this DNA technology allows us to select much more efficiently for traits of interest in the early stages of the breeding programme. So as I mentioned earlier, we can select very strongly for many disease resistance traits using DNA technology. But one of the key things, I suppose, at this stage is to combine this with conventional plant breeding and selection on the field. So for all of the plots that we score here, even if they have some of the particular disease resistance traits of interest, they must also be agronomically successful varieties. So they must have enough tuber numbers, enough yield, shape, uniformity, potentially dry matter. So all of the samples that we take at this particular point in time, we will also coop them to determine that if they have the correct traits necessary for the consumer market.